NRL tips brought to you by Tab.
Well, welcome to Freddie and Joey's tips for this week. Unfortunately, Freddie's not here at the moment, but he's out earthing, but I've got his tips here, so you'll still be getting all of his tips. Great weekend of footy coming up Thursday night. I'm really looking forward to this one. Raiders and Sharks at GIO Stadium in Canberra. This is going to be a bit of an interesting one. Both sides coming off losses too. Ambush
by Ricky. We saw 3 weeks ago the Raiders, they gave it to Brisbane, 32-22. They gave it to them. This will be the same. They've had some luck with the judiciary. Papali'i, Tarpany and Big Red, Horsburgh, all got off. Pretty lucky, actually. And the Sharks, no Tommy Hazelton, no Talakai, no Kale Iro. So I think an upset here. I really like the Raiders down there.
Yep, that's exactly who Freddie's tipping as well. He's tipping the Raiders. So yeah, it could be a very happy Ricky Stewart on Thursday night. Friday night at 6 p.m, the early game, Panthers and Cowboys at CommBank Stadium.
There's a certain halfbacks back for Penrith.
Yep, Nathan Cleary.
Not a bad player.
Without still Brian To'o, Scott Sorensen, and Dylan Edwards.
Hard to get a read on Panthers. I still go back to that game against the Roosters. I don't know how they lost that. Anyway, Panthers. But on trust. Just be close to what people think.
You reckon the influence of Nathan? Get them over the line?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Freddie, no surprise there, he's tipping the Penrith Panthers as well. What about Friday night footy on 9? Rabbitohs v Roosters at Accor Stadium. This one never disappoints.
Who's Freddie tipped here?
Freddie's tipping the Roosters.
Okay.
But this is an interesting one. Latrell Mitchell at centre. Jai Gray retaining the number 1 jersey.
Well, Cody likes to attack. Well, he's a genius, Cody, down that left side. And that's the side that's been leaking points for the Roosters. So Robert Toyo and Chad Townsend, they better get their shoulders ready. For me, Rabbitohs.
Rabbitohs, all right.
Yep.
There you go. The two of you, different opinions on that one.
Of course. Uncle Nick's watching.
Saturday, Eels v Dragons at CommBank Stadium. Will the Eels get their first win of the season? The Dragons, they'll be full of confidence. They had a big win or a great win over the Storm.
I'm going to tip the Eels. I think Dylan Walker on the bench. I saw some better signs last week against Manly. I know Turbo went off, but the effort's there for the Eels. The effort's been there for the last couple of weeks, but they've lacked a bit of execution. I think the Eels can get home just.
I'm interested to see Dylan Walker off the bench for Parramatta, where they'll use him.
Hopgood's been playing big minutes in the middle at lock. I think he'll relieve him a little bit, Dylan Walker. Really good ball player in the middle. I think he'll add a lot to the Eels. All
right, well, Freddie's also... Well, no, actually, Freddie's tipping the Dragons for that one, so... different of opinions there. Saturday 5:30 game, Titans v Dolphins at Seabus Super Stadium. The Titans, we know what they did last week.
Yeah, they've got one of the best front row rotations. Front row, big Tino's just is a machine. Close one, high scoring game. I think the Titans can get home. I like what they're doing with their spine with Brimson and Jaden Campbell and those boys. Plenty of points in this one. I like the Titans.
Yeah, Freddie agrees. He's also tipping the Titans. What about Broncos and West Tigers?
Broncos, Jerome.
Broncos.
The
Tigers, it was a frustrating end for them up against the Warriors.
Even the last 40 seconds, they chip over the top and Taruva gets the ball. He catches and passes.
So many opportunities, yeah.
Anyway,
so
Tigers have got to win the close one. They lost round 1 against the Knights in a close one. If you look at all those stats, their stats were much greater than Newcastle. You've got to win the tight games. They haven't won the tight ones yet.
So Broncos is also Freddie's tip as well. Sunday afternoon footy, I think this is probably the game that I'm looking forward to the most. The Battle of Brookie, Melbourne Storm up against the Sea Eagles at Four Pines Park.
When was that big stink?
2011.
The Battle of Brookvale?
2011.
Wouldn't it be good if we could just go 2025 and wind it back to 1985 and they could play like they would then, if you know what I mean?
Who do you reckon would be in the stink?
Well, all of them. Definitely not Cherry Evans. Sorry, Ches. Who would be in there? Lehigh? If Lehigh Hoppervariety throws to his dad, not his mum, I reckon Lehigh would be in there. Lehigh's playing
Nathan
fullback.
Brown, he'd be.
Oh, Nathan Brown,
he'd be in there.
I'm tipping the Seagulls here. Lehigh Hoppervariety going to fullback. he's a good replacement for Turbo. Look, he's no Turbo, but I think he'll offer something there. And still the Storm, no Jerome Hughes. So their attack miss him. I think Manly can win.
All right, Freddie's also tipping the Seagulls.
And we're doing this game on...
Yeah, Sunday afternoon. Join us from 3 p.m. What about Sunday night? Bulldogs and Knights. Your Knights at a call.
Tipping the Knights, coming off a bye, nice and fresh. Back to pretty much full strength. Yeah, I think the Knights can beat them. Bulldogs have been up.
Challenge. The
Bulldogs have been like they're winning tough, and that's been 4 weeks in a row. They've been winning all on effort. I just think they could come back a little bit, and I think the Knights fresh.
When you watch their defence, it is just like it's perfection.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs.
There's a bloke called Kalen Ponga.
Yeah, that's
pulling
true.
the strings.
That's true.
And the last time we saw the Knights win at home against the Dolphins, they had Kalen playing first receiver, and he was actually playing to Cogger on the right and Fletcher Sharp on the left, or maybe the other way around. They looked pretty amazing in attack. So let's see how good the defence is when they got KP coming.
All right. We'll check in next week. And Freddie's actually tipping the Bulldogs for that one. So
he would. He's anti-Knights, Freddie. We used to smoke him.
All right. Well, there you go. Freddie and Joey's tips for this week. Enjoy the footy over the weekend.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.